science movie from the Moody Institute? You might want to open a Wikipedia tab, you guys. The wonder of water, the astonishment of agua, the holy peck of H2O, the dazzlement of dampness. Wow, there's a Moody cinematic universe? Any chance Bible Man or Salty the Salter might show up? Or at least Davy and Goliath and Kirk Cameron? I'm just going to write down what a cubit is for future reference.
Hi, may we please have a drink of water, Uncle Bob?
You certainly may. That's one thing I have plenty of. Help yourself.
Mind you, this water's for drinking, not baptizing.
All right, plenty for everybody.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm next.
Well, what's this, the seventh inning stretch?
No, we were just practicing. Boy, this water sure tastes good. Boy, nothing like water when you're thirsty.
Oh, you're so right, Mike.
You know,
Man can add all sorts of things to water to make it taste differently and have pretty colors.
you mean like mixers?
But when you're really thirsty, boy, you'll choose just plain old water.
You going to talk about God
By
now?
the way, do you fellas know what water's made of?
What do you mean, made of?
That's heresy.
Water's made out of something else?
It is that. What do you think water is?
I always thought water was just water. Yeah, just plain H2O.
Ah, there you are, Ted. Okay, now what do you mean by just H2O?
I don't know, we're kids. Google it.
I guess it's sort of a nickname for water, isn't it?
I guess H2O has become sort of a slang expression meaning water.
Against God's
But
will.
actually, H2O is the chemical formula for water.
Okay, can we go?
But why do we use the letters H and O with a little 2 in the middle?
Look, we shouldn't have brought it up. We were just being polite.
All right, I will. Come on into my lab for a few seconds, and we'll do some detective work and solve the mystery of why we call this H2O.
I should really call my mom
We'll need
first.
a fresh supply of Exhibit A.
Wait, that's kerosene. Ugh.
Go ahead in, fellas.
This is like that time Ken Ham lured me into his basement.
All right, now you fellas just gather around the bench here while I go back and get the electrolysis equipment.
The what?
Run, boys, get out of there!
Electrolysis equipment, Ted. That's what we call this glass apparatus that we're going to use to perform the experiment.
Now, shirts off.
Now, I'll need some power. Bobby, over by the radios on the back shelf, you'll find a Super B battery. It has some leads attached to the top terminals. Would you get it for me, please?
And don't look under the mattress.
Now, I'll add some more water.
You see here, boys, how the dampness of the water enwettens the apparatus, which then becomes engorged with moistness. Any questions?
There.
What, Bob?
Yeah, that's it, Bobby. Fine, thank you.
I couldn't help noticing all the exits are blocked.
Okay, now, fellas, I want you to watch these little platinum electrodes in here very, very closely. Because when I attach the battery,
My nipple.
current will flow through the water, and you'll see something very, very special start to happen.
This is a proprietary process I call Schweppervescence.
Look at 'em.
Right. Little bubbles are starting to form.
Where's the bubbles come from?
Well, our friend Don Ho's going to tell us all about it.
Wonderful secrets about water that we'll soon find out.
You don't know, do you?
Now notice that the water level is going down in the tube.
This movie's going down the
As
tubes.
the bubbles continue to appear, the water disappears. Now, what do you suppose that means?
It's a miracle that proves our religion is
This may
true.
come as a big surprise to you, but the electric current running through the water is breaking the water down into the two things from which it's made.
I call it deconstructed
In
water.
other words, the water is being taken apart, and we're left with the two elements which used to be the water.
Under the water,
Two
carry the
gases.
water. There is water at the bottom of the
bubbles
ocean.
One gas collect in the top of this tube, and the bubbles of the other gas collect over here.
No? Nothing?
So you see, fellas, water is really just a combination of two different gases.
How does that help me in my struggle against sin?
What is this couple of gases that are put together?
Right, Bobby, that's it. But those gases must be put together in just exactly the right proportion.
Or reality will
Look
collapse
at
in
these
on
tubes
itself.
again. Do you notice any difference between them?
Well, there's more water in one tube than there is in the other.
Right you are, Ted.
Kiss up.
That means there's more gas forming in the top of this tube.
And that's real value.
And you notice there's twice as much gas in this tube as there is in the other one.
But how do you know which gas is which?
Well, that's a good question, Milton. Let's make a few tests, huh?
You boys have any life insurance or burial instructions?
Now, first of all, we'll let the gas out of this tube and see what happens.
Eye protection or not, or...
There, you see how that burns with a light blue flame?
Yeah, I
You have to look pretty closely because it's invisible. Well,
That means our harvest will be plentiful.
we know that hydrogen burns with an almost invisible blue flame. Therefore, this is hydrogen. All right. Now let's test the gas in the other tube.
Just going to light this giant spliff. Now, does anybody know why we call this a fatty?
There. You see how that spark on the end of this piece of wood burst into flame and burns very fast?
That's how God's wrath burns against single mothers.
That's because that spark has come in contact with oxygen. Now, oxygen itself doesn't burn. However, it enables other things to burn.
Oh, like the Joker.
So, by this experiment, we know that water is made up of two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. Now,
What happens when we introduce dangerous amounts of radiation?
the chemical symbol for hydrogen is the letter H.
A little on the nose, but I'll allow it.
And to represent oxygen, the letter O is used.
As in Olestra or O-face.
H2O. What does the little 2 mean?
Yeah, what the
All
hell?
right, remember that we decided that there was twice as much of one gas as there is of the other?
Hey, those were your words, pal.
You remember which one?
Well, this would have twice as much gas in it.
Uh-huh.
Is the answer Jesus?
And do you remember what happened with this tube?
Water stuff?
Well, this tube had a blue flame on the top.
Right.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, right. Twice as much hydrogen as there is oxygen.
So you get a stronger
In order to
buzz.
represent that in our chemical formula, we use the little number 2. H2O.
So it's the world's most boring
In other words,
recipe.
2 parts of hydrogen
With none of the calories.
combining with 1 part of oxygen makes up the wonderful substance we know as water.
How
Amen.
about that? We use water to put out fire, but it's made from two gases which burn like crazy.
Well, almost, Mike. Remember that oxygen just helps other things burn.
Don't mock water, boy.
No, water is a very remarkable liquid.
That's the premise.
All life depends on it. And you know, water is a wonderful example of the Creator's great wisdom and careful planning.
Oh, here we go.
It provides electricity and steam for power.
It waters down lemonade for a church picnic.
We use it to keep things clean.
Well, we're encouraged to,
We
anyway.
boil things in it to sterilize them and prevent disease. We drink it.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend that.
We skate on it.
We waterboard enemy combatants with
and
it.
we swim in it.
We pee in it,
We
probably.
make snowballs out of it.
We soak our dentures in it. You get the idea.
We use it for cooking. And we keep things cold with it.
Yep, that tracks.
Yes, water is essential to all life. Without it, there would be no grass, or trees, or any living thing.
Does water have a plan for my
Without
life?
water, you and I wouldn't be alive right now.
Is that supposed to sound threatening?
You know, it makes a person feel very, very grateful for water. 2 colorless, tasteless, odorless, invisible gases
Silent but deadly.
combined in just exactly the right way to give us this wonderful, life-giving liquid. Just plain old H2O.
Join us next time when we'll rank the 2 genders. Thank you for watching. Fun with Shorts is made possible by Patreon and viewers like these. For as little as $1 per video, you can see early and exclusive shorts. Also, please check out the newly updated funwithshorts.com for the latest video downloads, DVDs, and, at long last, merch. Okay, that's the end. Bye.